Hey, how are you doing? Hey guys. Hey, it's Tuesday night and I thought I'd pop on here because I got some stuff I want to talk about and maybe something that could help you, especially if you're like me and you're going through a tough week. So, I've got a story to tell you. So, at the beginning of the week, man, the everything came crashing down on me Monday morning. Hey, Leah. And I was set for to have a great week, but it didn't start out that way. I started work, and it's like I was getting banged on from every angle. It was just like the stress mountain was just falling down on my head, and man, it was hard. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Ron. And so it was so tough to deal with that on Monday because it was like a never-ending, relentless wave after wave of stress balls hurled at me, and I was ducking the best I could, but it wasn't happening, man. I was like, oh, it just got me down, and it really super affected my mood yesterday, and I withdrew a little bit, that was my first instinct. And so I wanted to talk about that. It's like, I know that this is a common occurrence. So many of us go through challenges in life with our mindset and with, just stress and the way that affects your mood and the way that you cope with that and the way that that affects your relationships in life and how it affects your daily activities and the momentum that you have built up. If you're someone that is working on staying happy on a consistent basis and having that that day after day after day, that momentum that's built up of being glad and joyful and working on your mindset to stay in that situation, and then you have a day like I had yesterday, it can bring everything crashing down. And so you start to question yourself. You start to question where you are in life and how do you deal with that. And so I want to talk about that because it's how you deal with those challenges when you're at the lowest point of life that define who you are. And that can change, right? Because this is a learned skill. And one of the things that I did yesterday is instead of allowing myself to go to the depths of what my thinking process might have been, I recognized right away where I was headed. With all of the stress and all of the worry coming down on my head, I had to put a break on all of those thoughts that were starting to creep into my head and just say, no. And so that's the first thing I did is I just stopped and just took a breather, right? And I just kind of instead of staying in that position or staying in that situation where all of the stress was raining down on me and causing my stress to get worse and worse, I took a time out and I just stopped what I was doing from work, and I went and I took a little breather, and I did some breathing exercises, and that helped quite a bit. But each and every one of us have have this situation, right? We're all gonna be in a situation in life where you're challenged, where adversity comes, where you're stressed out beyond your ability to cope, and it's how you deal with those situations that define your character and define who you are. And so I want to encourage you to work on that piece of yourself, because it's so easy to get out of control in that situation. But I've got a little story about this too, because it reminded me about something that happened with my grandmother so many years ago. And this is like, I think, the beginning of when I started to develop a little bit of skills in this area, because when you're young, when you're a teenager, you are totally out of control, right? But when I was about 15 or 16, this is my dad's mom. Her name's Loretta, and she was my grandma, sweet lady. And we had a really kind of deep relationship in that she cared for us so deeply, me and my two sisters. And when I was about 15 or 16, I was super rebellious, and I was dealing with a big bout of depression, and it was the first time that I had like been hit by this adversity bug, and it had really knocked me off course, and I didn't know what to think about it, but I knew I could talk to my grandmother about it. And I sat down with her, and it was the first time that I recognized something in her that was like a commonality in our humanity, right? And I realized that everything that I was telling her, because I was scared to talk to her about my personal problems, my personal issues, my that little bout of depression that was hitting me. I was scared to talk to her about it. But when I opened up and I started telling her everything that was going on in my life, she looked at me with new eyes. I saw something in the gaze that she was looking at me with, and it was like she recognized something that was common between us, and I recognized it too. And I'll never forget it. She told me that this was going to happen. That this was nothing unique just to me, and it made me feel better. And that this was going to happen over and over and over again in my life. And it was the way that I learned to deal with it then that was going to carry me through. And so I think that's something that has stuck with me over all these years, is that you can recognize when you're heading to a low point in life, mindset wise, mood wise, whatever the case might be, that you recognize where you're headed and cut it off at the pass, and give yourself a time out and give yourself grace, because you are not alone in that situation. And so that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. So many of us, and a couple of things about how to deal with it, right, is doing exactly what I did there. I talked to my grandmother, I opened up, I talked to people. And so that's what you can do too. Do you have someone that is a trusted confidant that you can turn to at the lowest moment in your life and open up and talk to about your problems? Because that's super important, and that can be so therapeutic in getting out of that depression or that stress ball. Talking that thing through, looking at it as you can think of yourself as like you're a third party observer, and you're looking at the situation, and you can look at it a little bit more logically from that third party observer stance, and say, and you can get a better picture about where you are. So, and yesterday the stress was hitting me, and I took a time out, but I could also see from a third party observer standpoint of view that everything that was going on was just in the moment, right? And it wasn't something that was going to affect me beyond yesterday. And so I couldn't allow that to destroy everything that I've been building up in my momentum towards having a happy life. And so having the ability and the experience to say, what is the reality of that situation, and how instead of letting it destroy all of your momentum and everything that you're working towards, seeing it in a light that is true, right? And it's only a limited time period that you're going through it, and then you're gonna have a new day, right? With every new experience, there's gonna be a new dawn that starts over again, and you get a chance to begin again. And so seeing those adversity points in your life, when in that light where you're gonna have a new beginning, that this is not just gonna be this isn't going to be the end of your life. This is something that is going to happen again and again and again in life. You know, we kind of do an ebb and a flow, and it's okay. And so having someone that you can talk through those situations with can help you to get through that. And so I hope that helps somebody out there. Hey, Delia, how are you doing? I just wanted to talk about it because, you know, I've been working so hard on staying joyful, staying happy, you know, keeping my endorphins up. And yesterday was just it just didn't work out. And I just wanted you guys to know that, you know, those points in life come for all of us. It doesn't matter who you are, and it's just part of life. And so learning some skills and learning or just knowing that you're going to have those experiences through life is going to give you the assurance that you're going to come out on the other side of it, and you're going to come out on the other side of it a little bit stronger than you were when you went in, because that's why I think God puts those situations in our life, is that we can learn how to that we can learn that, you know, if we trust in Him and we trust in those situations being alleviated through our faith and through our belief that in our own ability to cope and to move, to push through them, to push through those times, then we're going to be stronger in the end for those, or at the end of it. So that's what I got for you. If you'd like to know my top 3 ways to release stress and to live a happier and healthier life as a result, send me a text message, send me a private message. I've got 3 great tips that I'm going to send you to do that, just that, to be able to relieve your stress, to be able to have a happier life, to be able to move past situations like that just happened to me in a happier, healthier, and a better way, and have a better life as a result. So, hey Georgia, how are you doing? Hey Mike, hope you guys have a great week. You know, keep fighting for what you want in life. Keep fighting for a better life. Keep holding yourself accountable and pushing yourself to the limits that are going to help you to achieve more. And that's going to build your confidence and help you to have a happier, more fulfilling, and meaningful life in the end. And so, hope you guys have a great night. Have a great week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.